Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Warman with the Active Trend Traders. Welcome to the Making Money Trading Stocks and ETFs. I don't know if Michael's joining us today, but what I wanted to do, I've shared with the folks who were online earlier, is I'm going to just start providing one trade per month to the people who join us on the Making Money Trading Stocks and ETFs. The trade for the month of October is going to be this one, and I'm going to be sending it out to our premium members, but you can basically play along if you would like to, if you would choose parallel. I'm looking at buying shares of Play, P-L-A-Y. We've got a real nice TSI tick up. We'll take a look at the chart. If the price at 12:45 this afternoon, okay, that's on Pacific Coast time. If the price is between 47.10 and 47.90, I want to buy shares of PLAY. My 5% stop loss will be down at 44.84. I will probably be tightening that up, and so with that, alerts, active trend trading. And this is basically sent out as a text alert to the premium active trend trading members. There we go. Let's go real quick because I'm still going to try to keep this within 15 minutes. I want to go real quick and put in the specific order. Well, here's Play. What we're doing, we want to buy Play. Well, I want to buy. I'm going to buy 420 shares, which is what my account allows me to do. That's dividing between 5 different entities. Here's my spreadsheet that tells me how to do this. Here it is right here, Play. I'll be investing $19,000, a little bit over $19,000. I'm going to assume I'm going to get in at about 47.20-ish. That allows me to buy 422.3 blah, blah shares. I round that down to 420. My stop loss at 5% is 44.84. My profit, one of my profit targets is 5% is 49, 10%, 20%, and there's my targets on those. And so to build the order, 420, 47.20. Let's take a real quick look at a chart on this just to let you see what I'm seeing. There we go. Okay, what we had basically is we had the TSI on this is one of our bottom fishing stocks. Okay, yes, it is in a downtrend. However, we are, appearing to like it wants to turn around and move back up. We're getting a double bottom on the TSI on a weekly chart. We're getting a TSI tick up. Now, and I'm looking here at the red dot is the whole moving average. It's currently at about 47. So I want it to be above that, but I don't want it to be blasting up through the high of today, which is 47.90. So that's what I'm looking at. Right now we're looking at a potential really nice little spinning top. Doji may turn into a little bit of it was a nice hammer a little bit earlier. Volume a little bit over average. Now let's go back to let's go back to how I want to set this order up. And I'm just going to set this up as a buy right now. I want to buy market. No, I'm actually going to put a limit. My limit on this will be $47.90. That's my high. Okay. My trigger on this trade is going to be twofold. One, it's going to trigger at 12:45, 12:45. That's Pacific Coast time, and plays and what's going to be my other trigger on this? I want my Play to be at or above, what was my number? 47.10. That'll be just above that 47.10, which will be just above. Now that's what's going to trigger. If the price is below this $47.10, then the trade won't trigger. And that's fine. That's the way I want it to work. And so with that, I'm done. I save the order. I'll go here. Got to get the right number of shares. Of course, that's not functioning properly. Poo. Hold on a second. There we go. 420. Confirm. And it's just going to be it's going to be just a day order, because I want it to cancel if it does not get does not get filled. So there we go. Confirm and fill. Now, if I don't get filled, oh, the other thing about it is the price is above 47.90. It will also not fill because my limit is 47.90. Confirm. There it is. Just make sure. Buy 420 at a limit of 47.90. Submit at 10:13 at 12:45. Mark at or above 47.10. Got it? Way it goes. Bingo, bingo. And then we just go back and we wait. So anyway, so that's a little bit about how we do things with the active trend trading system, and we'll go back now and get back started what we're looking at. I'm also looking at just to let well, we'll get into that. If you are a premium member and did not get a text message, you want to text capital ATTS to the number 313131. So, okay, I want to remind everybody that all materials presented are for training purposes only. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. What are we looking at? Here's a little bit about me. As I said, Michael has not joined. Looks like Michael has not joined us. And so if you like the concept of getting those triggers, let's say you're not a premium member, but you like that concept of seeing that, please send me an email. Let me know what you think of it. Send me an email. Let me know what you think about it. And at the same time, tell your friends that we are going to be doing this 12 times a year, one time per month. And it may be a stock, maybe an ETF, regardless. How are we doing for time? How long did that take us to do that? That took us a little bit less than 6 minutes to get that sent in. Remember, seasonality gets us in the ballpark. Our technicals get us in the ball game. We're approaching a time where seasonality should kick in all the entities and all the index ETFs, and that's what we're counting for between now and let's say the end of October into the first part of November, where we expect a turnaround and a nice little bounce. The objective of today's session is basically timely, accountable intel review at the end of the week. Market review. We'll talk about a few stocks, ETFs that are getting close to potential setups. Again, our premium members do get all the actual setups with the actual numbers and all that kind of stuff, similar to the order that we just placed. It'll be fun. It's always fun. The thing that's nice about the order that I just placed is it now is out of sight, out of mind, and it either fills or it doesn't fill. Now, I did not, and I could have added a conditional order for my stop loss and a profit target, but I will do that if I, in fact, get filled with it, because I wanted to get it done while everybody was watching. So remember, you have been given the keys. Learn how to open the door. Here's where we're sitting with the active trend trading system. The Russell, all the indexes up nicely for the year in excess, of 10%. The NASDAQ up 25. The comp up 22. So really, I won't say it's surprising, but a little bit greater than our expectations for a post-election year, but that's okay. Who knows? It may get better, may get worse. We shall see. Oh, let's go back into and let's take a look at the charts themselves. There we go. It's always fun to see, and like I said, to see in fact what play does do. The one thing about it is I will not go back and monkey with it, because going back and monkeying with trades is not, I don't have to get filled. If I get filled, great. If I don't get filled, great. And learning how to have that attitude is very critical. Okay, S&P. Let me get rid of, this is kind of interesting. No, that's not interesting today. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Pop it out of here. Okay, we've got the TSI on a weekly chart pumping up back up into long-term support at the overbought condition. When it tends to get up here around the plus 50 on the weekly charts is when weakness tends to come in. It doesn't mean that S&P can't push up a little higher, because in fact it can do that. That's how we come up with the negative divergences that we see, like similar to what we saw earlier in the year, where you get this negative divergent going on here. Well, look at the price action. The price action actually popped up higher before it finally rolled over, went into a nice little correction, and away it went. We do have a TSI tick down and cross in the S&P. This is a negative one or a bearish one. Momentum's turning down a little bit. However, the longer term momentum on the market forecast is continuing to push sideways. The near term and the intermediate momentum on a weekly chart on for market forecasts, again, it is in fact pushing up and is at you have a two-line cluster in the upper reversal zone. They don't tend to stay up there for long, but even after they're up there, it can, the price action can continue to push higher, moving up. So for the S&P, I would anticipate, because we have a cross here, I would like to see a cross here on the weekly chart, or at least a TSI tick down. Haven't got it yet. That would give us more credence to take something a little to the short side, potentially, for a counter trend trade. Now, in that NASDAQ, similar type thing. We are pushing up. We had a shooting star type candlestick yesterday, which was also a bearish harami. We had the TSI tick down, but guess what? This signal now, all these bearish signals here have been voided by the price action pushing up. And as you can see, TSI also ticked up. Momentum has fallen. And on the weekly chart, I want to show everybody this. Let me get is on the weekly chart, our weekly momentum is kind of gone sideways, as you see here on the TSI, and also sideways on the just the regular straight momentum. We have had a bearish reversal signal, or a bearish cluster in the TSI, or a correction in the market forecast. And so, again, one would anticipate that we should get some kind of a pullback. How soon? Within the next 1 to 4 weeks. Does next week look like a good time for a potential pullback? Historically, it not really, simply because it is the monthly closeout for monthly options that tends to have a little bit of a bullish bias. See that 10 times real fast. Bullish bias, and therefore we could anticipate things continuing to push higher. Russell's put in a nice, what would you consider a bull flag, and it's almost horizontal, which oftentimes is considered a strong signal. We can pop this up. Let me extend this to the right, and as you can see, this uptrend is still in effect, and as long as that trend line remains unbroken, this uptrend will continue to go forward. Let's see if we get one of two things happening. Either a pullback into that moving average into that trend line with a pop higher, especially if it coincides with about the 20-day moving average, or we may just drive sideways until we hit it and then get a rebound from there. Again, if it drives sideways and hits it, where's it going to hit it at? Well, at about, it says 1020 there, which is about the end of October, which coincides oftentimes with the end of year move for the Russell. As I said, TSI has ticked down, however, has not fallen out of the sky. We have not gotten a lot of acceleration to the downside with the Russell. And last but not least, we do have the TSI on the weekly chart rolling over, however, has not provided us a TSI tick down and or a crossover yet. So we'll just keep our eye on it. When the weekly TSIs tick down and crossover, oftentimes that corresponds with a real nice little retreat back into support level. Right now, we've got to treat every potential retreat as an opportunity to get long the market. So we good with that? All right. Any questions on the market real quick? Okay. So here's what I'm looking at. I like IWM, I like QQQ, I like the spiders. Which one do I want to be trading? I like IWM, QQQ best, just because this time of year is when they tend to have the largest move. Will I entertain doing counter trend trades? That's a question each trader has to answer for themselves. It's going to depend on how much airspace is between where the price action currently is and the moving averages where I would expect it to roll up. I'll show an example of that here shortly. I'm liking Netflix, Tesla, and NVDA. Netflix has earnings on Monday, so that's I did not get. That is correct, David. TQQQ for the Qs, and TNA is what I'll be trading for IWM. Or I have no problem also in trading the options for those. But I don't put out a lot of option trades for folks just because it introduces too many more new variables. Netflix, Tesla has earnings the 25th, and then NVDA has earnings coming up on the day after my birthday, 11/9, after market close. I still like YY, Kiwi, F5, JCOM, and these are my catfish specials for the week: CIEN, Momo, Ely, and Play. And Play was the one we put out the order on. I hope everybody got the, like I said, if you're a premium member, you should have received your text message for the Play position. It's not a position yet, it's just an order. Okay, the November 4th Bay Area Moneymaker meeting at the Masonic. Please, if you know anybody in the Bay Area, if you know anyone in the Bay Area, Lee Tanner, my good friend, ex-Navy, former Navy buddy, we got our commission in the Navy through the same program, except I was an aviator. Lee was a submariner. He's going to dissect IBD stocks and basically go into how he's been doing for the year. Always very thorough in his presentation. And so if you know anybody in the Bay Area who wants to learn from a legend, Lee will be there for the November meeting. So let's see here. So here's the NASDAQ seasonality we were talking about. Okay, we were here. We are now approximately here. As you can see, we did not get this pullback here. We did not get that. We got kind of just a little bit of sideways to a little bit of up. However, in our studying of this entity, what tends to happen is somewhere in this range, we will get an uptick on the NASDAQ that will launch it into its end-of-year run. As I said, I would like to see it move down into, this lower level, and then proceed to move up from there. That way, because, you look at this run from its lows, 6% all the way up to about, let's say 15%. So that's what, a 9% run. Multiply that times 3 for TQQQ. And so that's, that's a pretty nice run. That's about what, 27% what would be anticipated. Let me answer Michael's question. And Michael, 2019 January leaps for IWM are inexpensive. They're cheap, around $11. What do you think about buying a straddle? Seems like a sure bet. Market should correct in the next 15 months. Could possibly go up 15. If I was going to buy an at the money, I tried utilizing IWM leaps for the strategy 3, Michael, and what happened with the volatility when it went away, the amount of premium that I could actually gain from the weekly options was so small, it made it very difficult to meet my objectives that I was looking for that, and that's why I switched over to the to the SPYs. But I may take another look at that because I've got a couple of new rules for the strategy 3 folks that I'll be putting out soon about how to trade those a little bit more efficiently. And so heavens, they could work very well. They could work very well. Are you talking about buying both a call and a put, or just buying or doing a straddle? Yes. Okay. Yeah, you are a straddle. Okay. Cool. And I would go really close to at the money with it, because that way you will know one of them is going to wind up in the money. What else are we looking at here? Okay, here's the Russell. This is Russell, what I was talking about. It basically, this is where we are time-wise. Russell didn't do this exact thing here, but puts in a really nice move. Here's where we're sitting on the we have actually not closed any trades in October yet. These dollars here reflect what I do is basically to assure that this accounts for my open positions also. And so it's taken away from each one of the each one of the individual cells. And so since I haven't closed anything, I haven't had anything to go against the cost of the long position, basically the long leaks we are, but that's how that works. And so it makes it look like we're down for the month, but this is just the carry-on losses having the open positions as they've gone down in value. So here's where we're sitting with strategy 1, 2, and 3. Sitting at about 36. I'm pushing towards, I really want to get close to 50% for the year. Remember the active trend trading system, it's all about clarity, clarifying, simplifying, and multiplying. I'm really pushing hard towards that. I had a really good discussion with my youngest son, Brandon, about what he's going to be coming on board to help me out with some of the things on the website and all that type of thing that will help us to additionally promote the clarity and simplification so that we can multiply our accounts. Any good trend trading system or any good system is going to basically cover these 5 pillars. What to trade, top quality IBD stocks and top-notch ETFs. When to enter, when to exit, what strategy we're going to use, and what to expect. And let's see, this is September 25th. I had it updated. Anyway, this is the new go, no-go table that we've been putting on the website for premium members, and they basically show the stocks and the ETFs we're focusing on, and also comments about, what it's going to take to get us into a position. And so anyway, so that brings us to the end of today. I will cover a couple of entities. How are we doing time-wise? I have time to cover one. Again, 2017, season of explosive growth. So keep the egg growing, trade wisely, trade profitably. And the other entity that I'm looking at, is F. For a pre-earnings run. for a pre-earnings run. It's got a really good pattern going on here. It's looking like it wants to tick up here, but if we don't have a TSI tick up today, yeah, I'll hold off on this. But it's looking good. We've got a really good support level, and we've got earnings coming up on 10/25 after market close. And so if we can get a nice little run up in, what I'm looking for of the pre-earnings run is firm to run 5%. So 5% would put it up into the about there, back up, yeah, just above 122. And so this would be either a stock or an option trade. I will also consider buying like the 117.50 or 16.50 call that expires the week of earnings, and then let the implied volatility explode on that, and then close out that position just prior. So, okay, those of you who did not, let's see, the premium members who did not get their text alert, let's go. I will go and let me just double check one thing real quick. No, it in fact said that it did in fact go out. And so again, if you will, send the following text message, ATTS to 313131 to receive those texts. Please do not send that if you are not a premium member, because it makes my administration burden greater, because then I have to go in and unload people who are trying to cheat the system. So just do that, guys, and we'll see if we get goes out. So with that, I'm going to say good day. At 12 noon, we'll get started with the final hour. And so from high on my hill here in Makakilo, Hawaii, just until Monday, aloha, trade wisely, trade profitably, and I'll see everybody when it is time for the aftermarket Mondays. God bless everybody.